Hello there, little one.
No one heard the whimper at first. The ruins of Outpost Helios 9 were never quiet. Wind screamed through shattered alloy corridors. Loose panels rattled like bones. Distant thunder rolled endlessly across the ash plains of Kepler Row. The evacuation alarms had died weeks ago, but the place still felt alive with echoes of panic and unfinished deaths. Lieutenant Mara Ellison adjusted her respirator and raised a clenched fist. The 8-member recovery team froze instantly. Mara closed her eyes and listened again. There it was. Not metal, not wind. A sound that didn't belong. Soft, broken, almost afraid. "A cub," whispered Specialist Harlan over the comms. "Predator class. I thought the scanners showed nothing alive." They did, which means someone hid them well. The alien species native to Kepler Row, designated Zalathi predators, were not known for mercy. 6-limbed, armored, hyper-territorial, and brutally intelligent, they hunted in hierarchical packs. Cubs were rarely left unattended and never hidden, unless something had gone very wrong. "Weapons down," Mara ordered. Harlan hesitated. "Lieutenant, protocol." "I know protocol. I also know dead cubs don't whimper." Against their training, the team lowered their rifles. The sound came again, this time louder, a thin cry from behind a collapsed blast door half buried in debris. Burn marks scorched the surrounding wall, evidence of plasma fire. Whatever happened here, it wasn't gentle. Mara stepped forward alone. The others watched, breath held, fingers hovering just above triggers. She crouched and pushed aside a twisted slab of Durasteel. The gap widened just enough for her helmet lamp to cut through the darkness beyond. What she saw made her chest tighten. 3 cubs huddled together. They were small for Zalathi standards, no larger than earthwolves. Their armored plates were underdeveloped, mottled with scars and ash. One dragged a useless hind limb. Another trembled violently, mandibles clicking in stress. The third, smallest of all, had its head pressed protectively against the others. Its sides heaved with shallow breaths. That one was the whimper. Mara slowly removed her helmet and set it aside. The air inside the bunker was thin but breathable, warm, stale. She raised her empty hands. "It's okay," she murmured, her voice barely louder than the wind outside. "I won't hurt you." The cubs recoiled instantly. A low growl vibrated from deep in their throats, not aggressive but warning, fear disguised as threat. Behind her, the comms channel exploded. "Lieutenant, pull back! Mara, this is insane! If the Alpha is alive—" I know, Mara whispered. She inched closer anyway. The smallest cub suddenly lurched forward and collapsed, its legs giving out beneath it. The whimper turned sharp, painful, raw. Mara moved without thinking. She crossed the threshold. Every alarm in her head screamed. Predator species, unknown vector diseases, active war zone, no medical clearance. She ignored all of it. Mara slid to her knees beside the cub and gently placed 2 fingers against its neck plates, searching for a pulse. It was fast, too fast. Shock. Severe dehydration. Burn trauma. This cub was dying. "I need a med kit," she said calmly into the comms. There was silence. Then Captain Reyes's voice came through, tight and controlled. "Lieutenant, that is a direct violation of... If we leave it, it will be dead in minutes." Another pause. "You have 90 seconds, Reyes said. A medkit slid across the floor behind her. Mara worked quickly, hands steady despite the weight of what she was doing. She administered fluids first, then applied a synth seal to a deep gash along the cub's flank. The cub hissed weakly, but didn't resist. The other 2 cubs watched her every move, not with hatred, with calculation. Mara noticed then what the scanners had missed. The walls. Symbols carved deep into the bunker's inner shell. Salathi glyphs, old ones, pre-contact era. This wasn't just a hiding place, it was a sanctuary. The smallest cub's breathing steadied slightly. Mara exhaled. That's when she heard it. Not from the cubs, from the tunnel behind her. A footstep. Heavy. Deliberate. The temperature in the bunker dropped. Every soldier behind her raised their weapons. Mara didn't turn. A shadow fell over the entrance. Then a voice, low, resonant, translated instantly by her implant. Human. The Alpha had arrived. He was massive. Even crouched to enter the bunker, his armored plates scraped the ceiling. Old scars crossed his face, some burned, some cut deep enough to expose pale bone beneath. His eyes, 4 of them, burned amber in the darkness. He looked past Mara, at the cubs, at the smallest one. Something in his expression changed. Not rage, fear. Mara slowly rose to her feet and faced him. I didn't know they were here, but I know they were hurt. I helped. The Alpha took 1 step forward. The soldiers tensed. Mara lifted a hand behind her without looking, a silent command to hold fire. The Alpha stopped inches from her, towering, dominant, danger incarnate. Then he did something no human present expected. He bowed his head. You touched the Whimperer. The what? Mara swallowed. The Alpha turned, gesturing toward the smallest cub. That one does not cry, not even when burned, not when the den collapsed, not when the pack died. The bunker went utterly silent. Pack died. Mara's heart sunk. What happened here? She asked. The Alpha's mandibles tightened. The truth you were not meant to hear. He stepped aside, revealing more glyphs etched into the wall, warnings, not prayers. They came for our cubs, not to kill them, to take them. Mara's blood ran cold. Who? Your allies. The words hit harder than any weapon. The Alpha spoke slowly, each word heavy with restrained fury. The coalition declared us hostile, primitive, unworthy of negotiation, but they saw our young, and they learned. Learned what? Mara looked down at the smallest cub again. The Alpha followed her gaze. Some of our cubs are born different. Listeners, they hear what others cannot. Energy before it forms, intent before it becomes action. Precognition. Not full, but enough. Enough to change wars, enough to terrify governments. The Whimperer hears too much, so we hid him and his siblings here. Mara understood now. The bunker wasn't abandoned, it was attacked. Coalition forces had tried to extract the cubs. The pack had fought back, and lost. The Alpha looked at Mara again. You broke every rule, and because of that, my cub still breathes. The soldiers waited for the kill order that never came. Instead, the Alpha stepped back. The cubs will leave with me, but you will carry this truth. Mara met his gaze. And if I tell it? The Alpha's eyes burned brighter. Then perhaps your kind will finally listen. The Alpha gathered the cubs gently, impossibly gently for a creature built for war. The smallest cub stirred, letting out a soft sound. Not a whimper, a question. The Alpha paused. He knows you, the Alpha said. That matters. Then he vanished into the storm. Back aboard the transport, no one spoke. Later, reports would be filed, sanitized, classified, buried. But Mara recorded everything, every glyph, every word, every truth. Because a single whimper had exposed more than a hidden cub. It had exposed a lie powerful enough to reshape humanity's future. And this time, humans would have to decide what kind of allies they truly were.